Welcome back in this segment of our show brought to you by Madisonville Marine, and there is no better place to buy a boat. They have a selection that's just incredible. I said this last week. I talked about their selection is in their showroom, which is big. It's all across their lot out there. Bobby Scott drives by there all the time, and you said, man, let me talk about it.
I looked over there, and there's about 2 blocks worth of property there. And there's boats everywhere.
There you go. You're looking to buy a boat? Get down to Madisonville Marine and check out their prices. Check out that incredible selection. All right. Sterling Henton, former Vol, sits right over here. Bobby Scott, who you just heard from, former Vol, sits right there. Vince Ferrara joins us from 990, the sports animal. Thanks for being with us.
Appreciate it.
And right there, Chuck Cavalaris, of course, back with us again. This segment, we play to everybody's strengths. We let the players be positive. We let the mean, negative guys be mean media guys be negative. They're going to have an easier time today, I think. But I'm going to start with you guys. Started with them last week. Start with you guys this week. Give me a positive from yesterday.
You want me to start?
Go ahead.
Okay, my positive is we played a team. Well, first of all, we're trying to be a team that runs a very fast offense and everything, and we got to see the pros do it.
So they got to see it up close.
That's right. We still were snapping the ball with 22, 23, 24 seconds on it. We were
using up that time.
Using up that time. We were snapping it with maybe 8, 10, 12 seconds. They were snapping the ball with 27 seconds left on the time clock. Yeah. That's quick.
Any positives?
The positive I see yesterday is that we seen a team where they are and where we want to be.
Okay.
We
you just stole that.
Well, and that's what I took from the game yesterday. We want to be there. Yeah. That's what we want to be. We got to put the work in to get there. And when we get to that level, teams are gonna come to Neyland and we're gonna put them away fast. And that's what we learned from yesterday. And we're growing to get there.
I'm gonna help.
And I'm gonna go on record and say, could I say something else? I think Oregon is the #1 team in the nation.
Look, we'll talk about Alabama's defense later in this show, but I wonder what Oregon could do to them. All right, I'm going to help them out. Here's a positive: recruiting. That sounds backwards, but these guys are out there selling these kids right now. We need you. We need help immediately. You can come in and play immediately. Could there have been a better example of you can step right in and help us than what you saw yesterday?
We've already started 16 freshmen.
Exactly. That's right.
Freshmen.
That's right.
You got a chance to come in here and play quick.
Yeah, I think that may be a positive. You've already got some of these guys on the hook. I think you may not see them as many as normally would after
there
something
you go,
like that.
Coach Jones.
I don't think you're going to see a lot of guys fall off.
Us three, Coach Jones.
All right. Now I'm going to be negative.
Yeah.
All right.
There's no way to sugarcoat this. You went to Oregon and you laid an egg against the Ducks. You gave up Thank you. You gave up touchdowns on 8 straight possessions. 5 in the first half, 3 in the second half. Oregon faced more resistance in pregame warm-ups than they did against Tennessee's defense.
I don't agree with that.
What is it? So you're putting this on the coaching staff for not having the team ready?
I'm putting it. The blame goes all around on this. Players, coaches, everybody.
That's the truth. I agree with you there.
You could have given Vince Lombardi that Tennessee roster. He'd have gone out there and he'd have said, first of all, how am I alive again? Then he would have said, they've scored 7 touchdowns in 3 minutes. When did this start? I don't buy that. You can't coach speed, guys. That's a negative. This team has no speed. Oregon had speed. Tennessee hadn't got it. That's my negative. What do you think?
Well, I think it all comes down to the players, though, because there's things that I questioned from that game from a coaching standpoint and some slow developing offensive plays and maybe a couple decisions here and there. But that had nothing to do with the final score.
You're still getting crushed.
You're still going to lose to Oregon. So there's plenty of things. The bottom line in terms of negatives is you can't win without a good quarterback. And I don't think Tennessee has a starting quarterback that they can win with against good teams right now. Maybe the freshman will be eventually, but you don't right now.
Let me throw this.
All I was going to say is this team that we played is probably the fastest team that's ever been, there's ever been. Yep. They have 4 receivers that ran 10-300 meters. They had 2 or 3 backs that ran 10-400 my friend out there in Eugene, he called me the other day. He said, and the slowest guy on the team is the quarterback, and he runs a 10-5.
I don't care how fast they are on 4th and 6. from the 46, you don't give up a touchdown on a complete busted play. To me, that spoke volume. Yeah, it is team speed, but you're so far out of position on
That's
that.
right. I mean,
Well, I think part of that is also what Oregon does. I mean, their whole offense, the reason it's fast is not only to wear you down, but to confuse you. And when you take a team on their first road trip and you got walk-ons, as Jimmy Himes pointed out, out there in your secondary, I'm sorry, you're going to have busts. That team's been 28-2 in the last 30 games out there. Now, look, let me throw this
the
one to you.
wheels are turning and they're slower in reacting.
You want to throw something at the coaches, I would throw this there. And you may come back and say, but you're trying to lay the groundwork. This is what you're going to be, so you have to do it and do the reps. Worley is not going to run. He cannot run. It's wasted time and effort to line up and fake that option. Why even act like he could possibly run the ball?
Well, I agree. And then you have slow developing run plays when you do run them. When you have straight runs, they do. And they don't just bust people off the line. And I would like to see them be more pro-style to adjust
Let me
their
ask,
personnel.
why did Tennessee accept the penalty in the first quarter? Or turned down the penalty when you gave Oregon another chance, and then they scored the touchdown?
I think that's a lose-lose. I think they scored a touchdown either way, but okay.
Well, but they would have had it on the 30. It would have been third down on the 30.
Taking an extra 0.3 seconds.
I think that was a bad call.
And the last real big negative was the way Tennessee started the second half. You're down 31-7. You get the ball. Come out and there has to be some pride there to get something going, like you did against Western Kentucky.
It's all about the players and not
I think you hit the key there. Like you did against Western Kentucky. You weren't playing Western Kentucky yesterday. One other negative, and this is a big negative, we're going to put it up here. Thin and getting thinner. This is a concern now. This doesn't include Devin Young. This doesn't include, let's see, who else don't I have?
Riyad Jones.
It doesn't have Riyad Jones. Kurt Magid's not on there. But Couch ineligible. Ayers hurt this week, practice out. Two receivers injured. Salisbury hurt yesterday. Doesn't look good. Sapp hurt yesterday. You don't have a lot of depth, guys, and now you're getting thinner, and you're doing so before you play Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina. That is not a good mix. All right, when we come back, these guys are going to be back a little later, but when we come back next, Will Overstreet's going to take a look at Tennessee's run defense, specifically what messed them up against Florida last year. You saw some of it again yesterday. He was referring to it. Chuck was referring to it against Oregon. Are they going to be ready for the run game of Florida this year? We'll discuss that. Come on back on the Enrichment Sports Source.